What's up, everybody? Welcome to the CNG Podcast. Got my boy G Walker. What's going on, G?
What's good, brother? Hey, man, everything's cool, man. Just hot as hell outside, Same old, same old. Family, basketball. That's it, man. That's the same. What's going on with you?
Same here, man. Pretty much the same thing here. But we got our guy at the bottom down here, Elite Gaming Mercs. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir, you did.
Okay, cool. I'm
What up,
off to a good start. How's it been
Angel,
going,
what
man?
up, man?
Man, it's going good. I'm happy to be back. Happy to talk about this Bulls, Bears, see what's going on. You know how it is, man.
Disturbed,
Just
man.
feeling this summer wave of heat coming in, off season, new season's coming up. I can't wait.
Yeah, with you.
Yep. All right. Yeah, we got the Bears. We're gonna be talking about them a little bit in tonight's podcast. Also, we're gonna be getting into the Bulls, and we got some Zach LaVine news. The Bulls also had a draft, which was held last night with the 18th pick. We're gonna talk about that as well, and also me and G Walker. I guess we got some unfinished business here with I guess the super teams and the dynasty
You
and all
goddamn
that.
right we do.
Yeah,
Goddamn
you've been
right
talking.
we do.
Yeah, you've been talking shit all week. So yeah, we got to get that handle it. Maybe Angel will probably be the tiebreaker to squash all that or to get that done once and for all. But other than that, y'all make sure y'all go like this video on Facebook. Also go like it on YouTube at the CNG Podcast. But right now we got some Bears news to attend to. I guess the news came out this morning, or it could have been late yesterday, that new linebacker for the Bears, I believe his name is actually
Matt
pull him up.
Adams, I think.
Yeah, Matt Adams. And here's the report from TMZ.
Matthew
Says-
Adams was arrested for gun possession on Thursday. TMZ Sports has learned.
Yeah, gun possession, man, and
Did we pick him up in free agency?
Yes, sir. Another Colts former player, Eberflus. Another guy who is supposed to be getting significant time. I don't know about starter, but definitely significant rotation time because he knows coach. But I didn't like some of the stuff that I heard. It wasn't just gun possession; it was also extra magazine and metal piercing round in the gun. Metal piercing rounds.
Oh,
Yep.
shit.
you are absolutely correct. That's what was in some of this report right here.
Let me read this, man. It says, per the report, Adams was arrested on misdemeanor charges stemming from a gun charge for which he had a permit, but not from Illinois, and possessing a high-capacity magazine and metal-piercing bullets. I wonder if Adams was not aware of the differences in the laws in Illinois, which would not be successful defense, mind you. Like, wow, man. Wow. So much going on with guns and stuff.
Yeah, so it was first like bogus stop because they thought that it was a stolen vehicle that he was next to, but he showed them that he just recently purchased it, so he had the proof of purchase. But when they searched the vehicle, that's when they found the gun and the extra clip and the metal piercing rounds. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, why are you riding with metal piercing rounds?
Yeah, what are you trying to kill? A train track?
Like what is going on here?
Hmm.
Like we got another guy who they signed in Pringle that wants to drive with no license,
What is
doing wheelies and stuff in the car with kids, and then we got another guy who's driving around with high capacity magazines and metal piercing rounds in his car, just driving like.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And then they said that he had a permit, but it was from another state. Now, I don't know if in every state, the gun law changes. Every time I have a friend or relative come to the state that I'm in, I say, hey, if you're going to be carrying your concealed with you, make sure that you understand, the laws, from state to state to where you're going to. So I don't know if he just was dumbfounded and just thinking that, he had it. I don't know what's going on, but it's not a good start to what's going on with some of these Bears players and off the field. It's not a good start at all.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Do you need to get a new state FOID card, like the Illinois FOID card, if you're gonna end up moving that gun to Illinois? I could have swore that that's like you have to at least go by the state that you're gonna be living in, or
I
that
think
you're
it
gonna
is by
have.
the state you got to go in, but maybe he just haven't had the time to, you know, adjust and switch everything when he got here. You know what I mean? Like you never know, or maybe he thought he could get away with it. You know, it's just a bunch of questions that sound like something that's minor.
He would have got away with it if he kept it in his house.
Right.
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 He didn't have to have it in his car, magged up and with different metal piercing ammo already in it. It was in the gun already. The metal
Right.
piercing ammo.
He was ready to go. I'm in Chicago now. I got to make sure I got metal piercing around. I can't go down 63rd and 79th. Look, he know what's going on out here.
Somebody must have told him something.
It's ridiculous. It just doesn't make any sense.
But that I'm sure we're not the only city that's having multiple, signees that are having little infractions. We just hear about it a lot because we are from Chicago, so we hear about our Chicago news. But I don't like that a couple of our signings already are just like problems.
They wilding out, man.
It's like we had the first day one. We want to go that $45 million with a defensive tackle. All of a sudden, the physical didn't pop through. Now we got a receiver. Oh, wants to drive illegally with kids in the car. Now we got another linebacker. Oh, he wants to drive around with metal piercing ammo rounds, high capacity rounds in his car. What's going on? Like, are we not vetting these people properly? Or I just don't know.
I don't know, man, because I don't know where these guys are just thinking, because they're all grown men. They all got to think for themselves once they get off their field. Eberflus can't be hard on them on and off the field. They're gonna have to grow up and be a man sometime. Not to say that they're not men on the field, but you guys get what I'm saying. But it doesn't seem like, I'm hoping that we don't see this trend that we see usually the Dallas Cowboys go through every single year with their guys. I'm just hoping we don't see that, because
exactly.
It won't be a good look for one. So that's the third or fourth incident this offseason.
Yeah,
already.
I ain't trying to have too much more, man. Like as a fan, it's because it makes me wonder. Like, because I know we're not saying rebuild, but we really didn't help the offense really. So it's like we still rebuilding, but are we doing it with the right players in the building? That's just like it makes me wonder. I'm not gonna give them like, oh no, they're doing it wrong because it's still their first year, their first off season. I don't know what's going on if this ownership actually knows what they're actually doing. Not the ownership, I'm sorry. New management knows what they're fully doing. I'm gonna give them that whole leeway but it just makes me as like, oh man, shoot, another one. We got another person, like that's kind of questionable.
Yeah. I don't know, man, and TMZ, man. I ain't got nothing to say about TMZ.
They on it.
They on their asses on it because like really this guy was not really highly profiled. I mean, not to say he wasn't highly profiled. The fact that they just got on the story in Chicago like this, it's like, did somebody snitch on them, or how the hell did they just find out? Like, because right. Today is Friday. Usually a story like that would take a couple of days to come out. Today is Friday. You know what I mean? So
no, you're right. Same thing like what happened with Lance Briggs. Remember when he crashed his car on the E-way?
Yeah.
We didn't find out fully who was a driver until how many? Like about a week later.
It was a long time. It was maybe longer than that.
Where we finally found out it was him, but then they swept that under the rug so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But hopefully this will be the last incident for a long, long time. I just don't want to end up being like the Dallas Cowboys.
You're right.
Seem like they have incidents every single offseason. So hopefully, this will be one of the last incidents that we hear from the Bears, players moving forward. But next up, let's talk about the preseason coming up, which is here's the schedule. First game will be August 13th against the Kansas City Chiefs, and this will be on the NFL Network.
Boo.
Yeah.
Yep. So, um, what do you guys think about them playing the Chiefs for their first game? You know,
Go
and
ahead,
it
Andy.
being on a big a big stage like the NFL Network, but it being televised.
Uh, uh, like the NFL being the NFL, that was made like to know like they just wanted Matt Nagy now going back over there. Oh, here we go, Matt Nagy coming back to Chicago because it's where is it at?
Right.
At
Right.
Chicago. It's not in Kansas City. It's it. I don't know how many times. Usually during that time of season, I don't know if the Bears usually get the home first playoff. Sorry, preseason game, but uh, I feel like this was just a NFL making sure dotting their I's, crossing their T's, like, oh, this can get some heads, some people watching this right here. So let's for preseason, this gonna help our ratings. So that's why I look at it. I don't. If anything, I'm more of a what's it called, Eric the Enemy. I feel bad for him that he has to have Matt Nagy watching over his shoulder every couple of seconds. I guarantee you, Matt Nagy, the kind of person he is, he's gonna be in Andy Reid's ear. Oh, I don't know. I probably would have did something different there. You're right, Andy. So Eric the Enemy, he gonna have to watch his back
Yeah.
because that guy right there is what my guy called what you always call him.
A
Okay.
narcissist.
Narcissist. Yep. He's going to do what he has to do to make sure he's the guy. And sooner or later, he ain't gonna be happy being Patrick Mahomes' quarterback coach. He's gonna want to be on that offensive coach again.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's a good point. G, anything you want to add to that?
It's just the first preseason game. It's a football game. It's for the fans. It's the first. We all want to see football on the field on our TV. We want to see Justin. We want to see the rookies. Me personally, I want to see Jaquan Brisker. I want to see Gordon. I want to see Velus Jones Jr. I just want to see guys get on the field and be what they were drafted to be. It don't have to be a whole game. Just give me something, and I can be like, okay, that's a skill set that's going to break us for help us out in the offense or help us out in the defense. I want to see what Gibson's look like. I want to see how small and fit Jenkins is going to be. He said he lost about 20 pounds. I want to see how Borum's going to look. Flus want these guys in shape, lean, fighting machines. So by that time, the first game of the season, preseason, we should just look at them and physically and see how they look. Because I saw Cole Kmet, and he is shredded, man. Like, I think he lost about 8 to 10 pounds. He's way smaller than he has been in the last couple of seasons. So
hopefully that helps
guess
the hands.
go ahead, Angel. Go ahead.
Hopefully that helps the hands.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Like, yeah, you can shred all that weight, man, but you got to catch that ball, man. And he had a couple of decent catches last season, but we got to see that continue. When you work with a guy like Greg Olsen, and you work with a lot of other those tight ends over there, Greg Olsen had those hands. So you better make sure you catching those balls for real. But I agree with you, Walker. It's just first preseason game. We got to see how everybody looks and see who's gonna. You're really not gonna know who's gonna stand out, but let's see who's ready going into that first game. Even Flu said he expected everybody to come back, be ready to go. So let's see what happens. But the second preseason game is the 18th, and that's against the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
So who the hell is the Seahawks quarterback?
Oof, jeez, that's actually a good question.
I have no idea.
They traded Russell. Don't they got the guy from Denver? I thought he came back in the trade. What's the young?
Drew Lock? Drew
Yeah,
Lock?
Drew Lock.
Okay.
He came back in that trade, I believe.
Okay.
It wasn't just Russell Wilson. I believe Drew Lock came in the actual trade. And didn't they draft somebody in the later rounds this year? I know he's not a top quarterback, but I think they did draft a quarterback in the late like fifth round or something like that. I got to make sure.
I'm not sure. I'm definitely have to go back and look at that as that preseason game comes up in for August. But my take on the second game is that I'm expecting a lot of the second stringers to get a little bit more time. I think the first game gonna probably see the starters probably play about a quarter. You may see the second stringers play a little bit more of the same in the second preseason game. or maybe not. Depends on how things are going. I think you know, you may you may see the starters actually play 2 quarters. Then you may see the second string play, the other 2 quarters. And I think this is probably one of the games that we may see the Bears offense take a little bit more, do a little bit more plays out there just to test it out a little bit, especially against because the Seahawks, I don't know if their defense is still the same as it's been in years past. So they might want to test the offense out a little bit against that defense to see what they can do. But I mean that's all my take on it as far as the second game.
Yeah. For me, I want to see what they're doing with Braxton Miller still. I wonder if they're still going to start him out as left tackle for 2 weeks in a row. I want to see if Jenkins is going to start that game because they've been flip flopping guys off that offensive line all mini camp. You know what I mean? All since it started. So I'm kind of intrigued about what 5 are they going to put out there every week. Is it going to be the same 5? Is Jenkins going to stay with the 2s, or is Braxton Miller going to stay with the left tackle? So that's something I'm going to be looking at for that game too. See how the offensive line look.
This is a game and team that I wish that we were playing in the regular season because from what it looks like, it's Geno Smith, Drew Lock, and Jacob Eason are their quarterbacks. So I look at this as get your rookies, especially on defense, get them in there, get them playing. This will be a game that can help them mentally feel like, yeah, I could be here. I could make this. This is, I belong here in the NFL. That's that type of, going against those quarterbacks. Geno Smith is not a deep threat. I don't see them being anything more than fodder, especially their, Drew Lock's new for them also, so he'd be having to learn the offensive scheme. Jacob Eason also, the third string backup, he's new. Geno Smith was there last year, so at least he'll know the offensive makeup. But for our offense, I don't see their hitters no more on defense. Usually their games were running up the score also. That's why Russell Wilson had to keep on throwing deep to DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. It was always mostly a shoot 'em out type of game. He had to be over there running around like a chicken with his head cut off, waiting for the deep ball to be able to make it there. But I could see, like Guy said, and UCJ, about our offense using this game to see who's more playing. I want on this one though, game 1, I want people 2 quarters, the offense, the starters. This one I want 3 because it's only 3 preseason games this year. Right. So I need our starters to be at least 3 quarters into this one, and then the third week I'll talk about how I want that there. But our starters need to go at least three quarters in this week, for game 2.
I agree.
Okay, well since we're going into
so do the Bears win this game?
Yes.
Okay. I agree.
Yeah, I think so.
I agree. Okay. Well, let's talk about the last piece of the game, which is against the Cleveland Browns, and that is August the 27th.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
G. Walker, you're shaking your head. What you think about that, man?
I think this is going to be the game where the protection is going to be emphasized. I think Justin's going to have a chip on his shoulder for playing them last season and getting destroyed the way he did. I think this is going to be the game where he really takes off. He's going to show that he has the mental fortitude to bounce back. Everybody's going to look at this game. Oh, this is the first team he played when he started last season, and let's see what he can do against the pass rush. So all that stuff is going to be the narrative, and I think Justin's going to have that in the back of his head, and I think he's going to perform against that pass rush because this is the last game of the season. We all know that the starters pretty much play all the quarter. This is the dress-up game before the regular season. So I'm expecting Justin to really be what he's been advertised to be under Gesky. I think the offense is going to look complete or more complete. We're going to see more plays. We're going to see Justin do more. We're going to see everything what our regular season offense is going to look like with Mooney, with Komet, Velus Jones. We're going to see way more packages, and I think this is going to leapfrog us until to a part of the season where this was a game that we really almost became what we want to be on offense. Just because Justin might be the Justin revenge game. And that's just me personally, and I would love to see that. I would love to see him bounce back against this defense. So it's a good game for me. What you think, Angel?
For this game, I only want to see our starters play 2 quarters. I
Two?
want them to
Okay.
play. I want Justin Fields on there for the whole first half.
Okay.
The third quarter and the fourth quarter, actually fight to see who's his backup. I don't want to be just given to Trevor Siemian. I want the 2 backups to actually fight for that spot.
Okay.
But my thing is, I need my offensive line to be known of who's going to be the starters.
There we
So
go. Now we.
I need to know by the end of this game who's the 5 best starters. So I need to see my left tackle versus Myles Garrett. If I'm wondering which 2, I have to have them both on there. I need to see them both play against Myles Garrett. So
Yes.
they're going to need to interchange that during the first half. I don't see Cleveland going with Myles Garrett 3 quarters deep. I don't see them doing that. Not for the last game of the preseason. So they need to be interchanged in the first half. My other main thing is Velus Jones. I need to know, is he able to be receiver 3 by the end of this game? Because if he's not able to be receiver 3 by the end of this game, then that means that we're going into the season with him as a special teamer.
That's right.
Meaning punt return, kick return, because we can't be going into the season on week 1 wondering still, and still having him as punt return, kick return, and trying to learn the receiver position. You need to be able to go in his first 3 preseason games with him focused on receiver and knowing that playbook.
Right.
Once this game's over with, he needs to be receiver 3. If you're at this point where, man, I don't think he can make it, put him as one. I don't want him as both punt returner and kick returner. I don't want this guy getting injured. We spent a 3rd round draft.
What do you want to see from him as far as the production numbers game? Do you want a touchdown? Do you want how many catches?
I need to. I want to see how his route running looks. Only the coaching staff is going to be able to know, did he run the right route? Is he getting separation? Is he able to run the route and actually use his separation to make it where a pass could have happened? Maybe Justin didn't hit him, but hey, he did get open. That's the things that I need to be able to see, because if he's going in there, going with Trevor Siemian or with whoever else is the 3rd string quarterback, if he's going in there with them, I just need to be able to see, is he getting the separation? That's the one thing that a lot of our receivers don't do. They may run a route, but they get no separation. They have to make this weird, fantastic catch, in coverage. And it's like, I'm tired of watching our receivers having to do that in order to catch a ball, but yet I'm watching all these other teams have a receiver who's 5 feet away from a defender. Right. Like, are we getting receivers that are just going to run a route with no separation? Or are we getting a receiver who's going to run the route with separation? That's all I want to see from him. It doesn't, to me, I can't hold it against him if he's not getting the ball. I could only hold to him what I see. And if I see that he's getting separated, okay, well, that's on our quarterback for not hitting him. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, I don't want to just give him numbers like, oh, he needs to have, 17 catches throughout the first 3 games. I don't want to do that to him. I just want to be able to, if I see him on the field and he's continually getting open, we're going to say, hey, man, he should have got the ball. Just like in the Super Bowl, Jamar Chase should have got that ball. One more set. If what's it called? If the QB from Cincy, Joe Burrow. If he believed in it just 1 second before he got sacked, like, oh, I know he's going to be there. If he would have believed it, he would have got the ball and they would have got that touchdown. But he didn't see it yet. The receiver ended up getting open. So, what up, Bobby?
Bobby, what's going on, man? I was going to shout you out when Angel got done cooking, but what's going on, Bobby?
He was going in.
Yeah.
All the talk.
We going, Angel. Go ahead. My fault.
No, but no, that was my whole thing. Is just I don't want to hold it against him. Just like I don't hold it against Jamar Chase or anything. Well, why did he get his separation? No, he got open. He got his separation. It was just that offensive line didn't hold it for just enough. So it's like I don't want to hold receivers too much of what their numbers are when I just want to see separation. That's my main focus is separation. Are you getting separation? Yes. All right, cool. Then I could see you on the field. because that means that you get separation, and sooner or later the ball's going to come to you because the coach is going to keep on seeing it. This guy's open. This guy's open. This guy's open. This guy's open. Pass him the ball. He's open. So if you continue to do that, you will get the ball. So I will have faith in that.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely, I definitely agree with Jones being number 3. I think he's better suited for getting balls in the middle of the field. But again, it's all going to be about him getting open, like Angel said. That's something that we have not had on this Bears team for a while. Is these receivers getting separation from the defenders, but at the same time, I really need to see what this offensive line is going to look like. I think that's going to be the key thing going into the regular season game. How much is this offensive line going to improve preseason after preseason after preseason going up against different defenses? So Braxton Jones being in that spot, let's see if he's going to maintain that. Okay, we know that Jenkins lost a little bit of weight, but I think Jones has solidified right now at least that left tackle spot. So let's see if he can hold it.
I'm not too sure. Let me speak on that. I'm not too sure. I think a part of me is thinking that what they're doing with Jenkins is seeing how long he can go without being hurt in camp and in preseason. I think they're gonna end up. I think they might start. I think they might start him at some point.
Yeah,
because he showed last season he didn't allow a sack like the last 5 games. That's nothing to sneeze at. So I think his health is important, and I think that they are developing Braxton at the same time. But I won't be surprised if they pull a trick and Jenkins is starting week 1. I won't be surprised. Either way, I won't be surprised. But that's just a little nugget I'm gonna just have for myself in the back of my mind. What the Jenkins like. You know what I mean? Like, they just were saving him. We'll see though.
Okay,
we got to see Braxton on the field. Yeah, I haven't seen him do anything. Like his footage. You know what I mean? Everything we're gonna see is preseason. That's gonna tell us everything we need to see on film and on TV. So that offensive line, like everybody's saying, that's something I'm gonna be looking to all preseason. That offensive line.
Yeah, going back into Jinx and Jones, it's all about consistency. They of course they've been seeing how these guys been blocking, how they've been doing things, do training, do mini camps and all that. So it's all about consistency with those guys. Those guys are going to be able to play at a consistent level moving forward. So that's who's going to win that job. Whoever comes out and play with that consistency going into preseason and going into that first game to the regular season, that's who's going to win that job. I can't give it to either or. I could just go off of what I've heard, and what I've heard is that Jenkins has been beat several times by different defensive ends in the camps.
Not looking good.
So that's what I've heard by several coaches. So based off of what I've heard and based off of why he's with the second unit, that could be a reasoning. So it has to be consistency with the blocking moving forward, and that's why I think Jones got the spot over him because he's been a little bit more consistent. So we'll see what happens moving forward with those guys. But man, I can't wait till football starts, man. It's gonna be some headaches, but I believe it's gonna be fun at the same time to see the growth of this team moving forward. So that's my final take on it. And I believe next we're gonna get into Zach LaVine real quick.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, Zach LaVine, Dad. And this is the report. Now, this is the report by our guy, David Kaplan. So, as you can see, David Kaplan says the Bulls have informed unrestricted free agent Zach LaVine that they will offer him a 5-year max deal. Zach has responded by letting them know that he plans to accept once free agency opens June the 30th.
Good. Hurry up. Zach, let's go.
Y'all say good, hurry up.
Go ahead, Angel. Look, you know what? Let's let Angel get his thoughts in. And I'm going to start it off because I already know how you feel about Zach LaVine. Me and Angel bump heads about Zach.
Oh, boy.
But we need him, man. We need him, bro. We need him.
Angel
We
about to
need
cook
him.
again.
We need him.
No,
We need Zach.
and that's
Go
sad.
ahead.
Okay, but that's saying that we need Zach. Okay, but anyways, besides the point, I already told you they have to resign him because they don't have anybody coming in better. Plain and simple. Unless they make a trade for somebody, there's no free agent that they're gonna have the money on the table that they're able to offer that's gonna come in here that's better than him. I told Guy when we had our conversations that they're gonna have to bring him back. My only problem is that if they bring him back fast, they have no money unless it's specifically through trade to upgrade this roster, and they didn't do it on draft night. Personally, to me, so I don't know what they think they're gonna be doing. If they're offering this man $40 million and he's gonna accept it on day one, morning, basically the morning of free agency, what moves do they think that they're realistically able to get? Because I'm gonna tell you one thing right now. Everybody talking about PJ. I heard rumblings also with Catman and them talking about PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker ain't coming here, bro, to be no mid-level exception.
Didn't he wanted $37 million?
I'm just saying PJ Tucker ain't coming here to play behind Pat Williams.
Yeah.
He ain't coming on. He coming to this team, especially if he's gonna get paid cheap. He's gonna come here and he's gonna want to get playing time because he's gonna want to do it on a 1-year deal in order to get his chances of going, playoffs and showing himself some more. But he's not gonna be coming here to be playing behind Pat Williams. He's gonna want to start. Then if that's the case, what are we doing? So I understand why we gave Zach his money. I understand that. But it's going to affect us as a team. People need to understand that. We are not going to be able to upgrade this roster unless we make some miracle trades that people just going to want to take our money.
Okay. All right. Well, look, Angel, you could be right about that, but I know you're big on looking up information and analytics and all that, but I came across this, and I was gonna bring this up later, but I'm actually gonna throw it up here now.
Yes,
this is what I've pulled up as far as the Bulls situation. I'm actually gonna take the
Okay,
banner
Bob.
thing down there. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But that's actually what I pulled up. As this is what the Bulls got as far as right now. This is without Zach LaVine signing his contract.
Yeah, and how much is Zach's
We're
contract?
gonna be over the luxury tax. We know that.
Yeah.
Right, but what I'm saying is they have a taxpayer mid-level exception. So
Yeah.
my thing is with that mid-level exception, can they use that before they sign Zach LaVine or they cannot? Is my question.
No, they could use that after they sign Zach LaVine, but the thing is that it
get
won't
a
be for
mid-level
10.
yeah.
I don't believe it'll be for $10 million. That's how much the amount remaining is for their buyout.
Mid-level.
Like, yeah, but I don't believe that's how much they actually are able to pay the person.
Okay.
But again, that's also an MLE means that I think it's guaranteed. I'm not sure if it's guaranteed a mid-level exception. If it's guaranteed money, but that is something that they will have. But that's why I said PJ Tucker, if it's like how people are rumored him, he's not gonna come here for super cheap money. If somebody else who's on another winning team could offer him the same mid-level exception.
Bobby said go after Mitchell Robinson, but he stay hurt.
I like the Mitchell Robinson theme, but the only way that you're able to do that is with Kobe White. You gotta hope that New York wants to take Kobe White back from you.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough, and even I even thought about maybe the Orlando Magic has a lot of centers and power forwards.
They ain't giving you nobody.
But what I'm saying,
like the Mo Bamba, man. We going
no,
Mo Bamba.
but what I'm saying is that the Bulls don't have anybody in that spot. So and you got Kobe White just sitting there with Io and Caruso. So it's like, you're gonna have to do something at some point with him.
Let's show of hands. Who here is saying that Kobe White's getting traded?
I'm saying
all three of us.
We saying he's getting traded.
Yeah, I just
Kobe
don't know.
White's getting traded. We already drafted his replacement.
Yeah,
so we already drafted.
We drafted his defensive replacement. Yes,
his defensive replacement. Yeah,
yes,
we can just go into that right now. I can't take the anticipation no more. Talk about this dumb.
Let it go.
CJ,
Let it go, guys.
Go ahead, man. Go
All
ahead.
right, man. All right. So now we're gonna get into the Chicago Bulls. Actually, hold on one second. That comment, I gotta take that comment off of there. All right, we're gonna get into the Chicago Bulls. They had the 18th overall pick in yesterday's draft, and they selected, which was an eye raiser, Delane Terry.
Dallin. Is it Dallin?
Delane.
I think it's saying
Dalen.
Delane.
Delane Terry.
Dalen.
Dalen.
Bobby knows what he's talking about. See, Bobby know what he's talking about. Bring up Bobby comment real quick. Ha! See? I think they banking on Simonovic to fill up the backup center spot. That's why the draft pick was Terry. But big question is, how will he pan out? See, this is what I'm talking about, man. And Angel know how much we agree on that BD might not be the right coach for this team, man. He might not be the guy. We don't even know if Marco is even going to get minutes. We don't even know. We don't even know.
He got no minutes last year, but Alizé Johnson and Solomon Jones did.
Hey, Mom, how's it going? But I mean, that's a good point. With Marco, the thing is, you put him in the G League for almost damn near the whole season.
I don't.
What is he gonna do moving forward to solidify that backup spot? Because keep in mind,
there's nothing more that he could do, bro. The man went down there after like 2 games and averaged 20 points and a double-double and 7 foot tall with a crazy shooting touch. So you're gonna bring him to the G League again. He's gonna average probably 18 and 17 because I heard Pat's gonna be down in summer league. Why? And he's gonna average double figures. There's no point for this young man to not be getting minutes. This is what I'm talking about.
There was no points for the young man not to get minutes because we started crying to the NBA's commissioner's office to postpone games because we didn't have enough players. But yet we did not have any minutes for this young man to play. Like seriously? They went crying to the NBA commissioner's office asking, "Oh, we don't have enough people. We need to postpone some games." This man played probably a total of 7 minutes all season.
Right.
I seen more Solomon Jones than I seen a Marco Simonovic. I seen, like you said, Alizé Johnson started the season as your starting power forward.
Bro. Bradley, bro.
Bradley, at least I could understand. He was a young player who you also signed to be on your roster as getting some playing time. But the Alizé Johnson, you guys cut this man, and he was your starting power forward to start the season.
Man, Bobby want to get on the show, man. You might as well send dude the link. Bobby,
on weight and get experience. The issue is his defense. No, Bobby, I feel you. We feel you that the issue that he must have an issue of what they think of why he's not playing. But the thing is that when you're down 30 points in the game and you instead choose to bring in Solomon Jones as your backup power forward, why is Marco not playing? They put the whole bench in, and they would just leave him there.
That's a good point. And at the same time with Billy Donovan, I think what it is too is that when you get a DeMar DeRozan and you get a Nikola Vucevic, can you afford to put Marco in there? Which could be a good thing that he gets the playing time. But if he goes in and struggles because he had a problem,
so why draft him?
Being pushed around.
My bad, CJ.
But what I'm saying is he had a problem being pushed around. He was getting pushed and pulled around. I mean, he was thin coming in, even though he's gotten bigger now. He's gotten a little bit bigger now, but he had a problem.
And he grew 2 more inches. He's taller than Vooch, bro.
Well, Vooch is 6'10". I mean, Marco is 7 feet tall. I mean, he's legit 7-footer. But
okay. CJ, I 100% fully understand what you're saying. I 100% fully understand about he needs to get some meat or whatever. I'm 100% understand that completely, but I'm going to respectfully tell you this: this man was in games sitting on the bench when they're down by 30 points, and they put everybody else on the bench in the game, and still refused to put him in. It doesn't matter what his body size was.
That's
This
what
was
right.
called you are completely hindering this man because I don't care what anybody says. That man guaranteed right now, he doesn't have as much confidence as he did before he started the season coming here because he sees, damn, we're down by 30-something points. They're bringing up somebody else who I feel that I'm better than, and he's playing, and he ain't even going to be here next year. I still can't play, and I'm wasting my money, my time, coming back and forth from the G League games to come sit here on this bench and not even get one tick on a 30-point, 40-point loss. He's up there watching it. You see him. He's clapping. He's trying to show, hey, I'm active. Hey, coach, I'm right here. He's trying to be next to Billy. BD trying to be like, oh, you try to put me in. But slowly, surely, he started making his way to the edge of the bench because he still wasn't going to get put in. They put this man on the playoff roster.
Yes.
He didn't even play in the season.
Yeah, bro. I was just about to say
season. Why did you put him in the playoff roster?
That's crazy.
I don't know.
So that's coming down to coaching.
It's coming down to the coaching because I would have played him, but I'm not Billy Donovan, So I mean I'm just playing. I'm playing devil's advocate here, obviously.
I feel you,
but he definitely should have. He definitely should have got the playing time. But he's one player that I want to see. Yeah. Angel cooking tonight. Yeah, he going in tonight. But he's definitely one player I want to see. Definitely get more playing time. This season. Most definitely. If he's not,
because what's going to be the excuse?
It shouldn't be no more excuses.
Like, what's going to be the excuse? He put on 8 pounds, 7, 8 pounds, 10 pounds of muscle. He averages, say he averages 17 and 12 in the G League in a couple of those games. He's showing you put on weight. He's showing you has a shooting touch. He's showing you can stretch the floor. He's showing you he can rebound. He's showing you can be a rotational piece. What's going to be the excuse this season for him not getting minutes? I'm going to be livid if that young man does not get minutes, man, because he has potential if he's steady progressing. Like, what if you go down to the G League, he averages 24 a game, 24 and 11? You know what I mean? Just from being a shooter. That's crazy. That's on the coach. So now that brings my other point into, what we always talking about, Patrick Williams or Marco or the guy we just drafted getting the ball in their hands. You got guys that are developing, but they don't have the ball, bro.
Yeah. What's going on, C-Dub?
No matter what you feel about Patrick Williams, he doesn't have the ball. He doesn't have the ball. For the 4th overall pick, he don't have the ball. Marco, 7 foot tall, with a nice shooting touch, not getting minutes. This kid right here that we just drafted could be the next Lonzo Ball with health.
Who knows? Maybe even Dwayne Wade.
6'7", 195, crazy wingspan, can do everything. How is he going to get minutes on the floor?
Yeah, we don't know. You're right, because it might, like you said, it could be next Lonzo Ball, right? What if he's the next Dwayne Wade? Right. A field goal shooter, a guy who could, 6'7", plays defense, likes to drive. Who knows? Maybe he can't. We won't.
He's tough.
We had games where Ayo over there, putting up 10 assists, and the next game he only sees like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. But then yet we gotta have Kobe White, putting up 28 minutes. I don't know what's going on in that floor. Who he chooses to put on the court, I don't know if he's just a practice guy. Whatever is happening in practice is the only thing I'm gonna put on the court. I don't know. I really don't. But I'm still flabbergasted that this guy, Marco, only has 7 minutes all season. I don't care what anybody says. 7 minutes.
Angel, I definitely see your point, man. And this is why I say that this year is going to be more so on Billy Donovan than these players.
The pick guy.
There we go.
It has to be. It has to be because
we didn't talk about this to you. But I'm sorry, CJ. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say it has to be more on Billy Donovan this year because now that you saw what your team was when you did it your way, you're going to have to show more depth, especially with Zach LaVine offering this big contract, which I know people don't agree with, but it is what it is. But with these young players, you're supposed to be the guy that's supposed to develop young players. That's why they brought you in here. They
But
didn't
he's
bring you
never
in
done
here,
that.
right? But what I'm saying is, they didn't bring him in here because they thought he was a championship coach. The number one thing they said was developing talent. Okay, so
Right.
that's supposed to be his special thing that he's supposed to do as a coach. So now you being out of that first year, guys like Marco, guys like the kid that you just drafted, even Justin Lewis, the other kid, the other undrafted kid that you just signed to a two-way contract. You're gonna have to get those guys to come on board because now guys like Derrick Jones Jr. is not coming back. You got a lot of those guys who are on that bench who played last year. They're not coming back. So you got to get those young guys playing. So that's why I said it's going to be more on Billy Donovan coming up this season than it is on the players themselves.
So, who did you guys want with that pick?
Oh man, let's not. Oh, dude.
Go
We
ahead,
was in a group
guy.
that talking about this. We was in a group that talking about this all last night, Angel. I wanted to shoot it. I didn't know who the shooter was, but I know from watching basketball and coaching it in the NBA, if you get a pick at 18, there's a shooter there. 18 to like 20, 21, there's a shooter there. So when you told me that the best shooter in the college was the pick that we could have drafted, I damn near want to throw my phone and throw my damn iPad, bro. I cannot believe we didn't draft the shooter, man.
The guy from Ohio State.
The guy from Ohio State.
Ohio State,
Because
yeah.
you draft
Barnum.
the shooter,
Malachi Barnum.
man, like, and the shooter, that's just like, let's go back in the day. Okay, Michael Scotty, BJ, Horace Grant. I don't know what pick John Paxson was, but I'm pretty sure he was a shooter that you could have grabbed. And he grew with that team, with that core of guys. We had a shooter that we could have grew with our core of Pat, Vooch, DeMar, and Zach. Lonzo. And you could have added more space on the floor with a shooter, and you didn't get it, bro. I don't understand that.
I feel you. I feel you, bro. Believe me, I feel you. Like we went over the guy's numbers, and this is how we know that he's an actual shooter compared to who we got.
Cam, we're gonna get to your comment in a second. Go ahead, Angel.
Okay, so the guy we got is a 50% field goal shooter. Great. That's great. Awesome numbers. 36% from three, 73% from free throw. College, okay, all right. We're looking at what his numbers are. All right, so you would think he's going to move back a little bit on the three-pointer if in the pro level, right? It moves back a little bit. All right, so what was his shooting? His shooting form gives him a 73% for free throws. 73% on his shooting form. The guy that was drafted, number 20, I believe, by the Spurs, Malachi Barnum, 83% free throw shooter. So his form is literally 10% better just on non-contested, just regular how he feels comfortably as a shooter. He's 41% from three. 41% to 36%. Okay, all right. Now he shows that he was a little bit more of a scorer. He was around 13 to 14 points per game, Malachi Barnum, 8 points a game for the guy we drafted. I keep on forgetting his last name. I don't know why.
Terry.
Thank you. I keep on thinking of Jason Terry. I don't know why, because of people were saying they're not related, and now they're in my head. I know they're not related, but Terry, I like what I hear of him, but I didn't know what. It's because as a fan, I don't know what we're trying to do with the pick. And what I started to think about is the only thing I could logically come to is they're scared of Lonzo's injury, and he's a replacement for a point guard that was available that shows that he gets around 4.8 around there.
Good point, Angel. Good point.
4.8, 4 assists a game. Now Malachi Barnum isn't a ball stopper. Also, he actually had about 3 assists also a game coming from a shooting guard. So it's not like he stops distributing the ball. No, he still distributed the ball. But I feel like they maybe felt like we needed a defensive player on the floor too if we're taking out Lonzo or Caruso, because we need help wing defensively to help Zach and DeMar on what they can't do. And That's the
So,
only logical thing that I could think of why they drafted this young man. Because it's not like this young man is some, like, oh my god, like prospect. He was the 5th ranked point guard. He was the 3rd point guard taken. He was the 22nd ranked player. He was taken at 23rd ranked, taken at 18. So 5 picks above where he should have been, where he should be ranked to get taken. So it was reaches, but maybe it's specifically because they felt like that was a need that they're scared of for Lonzo.
and you know
Man,
what?
let me.
I agree with that.
Yeah, go ahead, guy.
I agree with that, and that just makes me think that. So, are they going to bump this kid up in the rotation? Answer me that right now. Are they going to bump him up in the rotation over Ayo and Caruso? As far as development, like we've been talking about for Billy Donovan, you draft a guy. Wait a minute, in the first round with the 18th pick, and you scared of Lonzo Ball's health industry with his knees and his ankles. So, is he going to get minutes to develop as the number 1 point guard on this team?
So, with their mindset of how BD coaches, where a 6'4" guy can D 6'11" Giannis Antetokounmpo in the playoffs, he probably feels like, oh well, this guy can go at least 1 through 4 on defense. He could play defense on 1 through 4, like he makes Lonzo at time does, right? Sometimes you see Lonzo playing defense on the small forward. Mm-hmm. So to him, if Lonzo is hurt, he will be playing more. The reason being because Lonzo's hurt. So Caruso and him would most likely be the starting the point guard duo, and Ayo is going to be the guy coming in for Zach or DeMar if they're in foul trouble or hurt or they need rest. The Ayo's coming in for them too, because then you slide Zach to the 3, you put Ayo at the shooting guard, because I feel that maybe BD himself didn't like Ayo's distributing as a point guard. We may have liked what he did, but maybe BD didn't. So that's why he wanted that person who's a Lonzo light in aspect, but we know that they needed shooting. Right. BD should know that they needed shooting.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You're a playoff team, and you should be looking to strengthen your team every year, not going into a picking a guy that's going to be developing instead of picking a guy that's a specialist. For your team that's young playoff team that's steady being a young playoff team. Mm-hmm. You need a specialist that's going to help your team in the playoffs with spacing and shooting.
I feel you.
So what do you expect from this kid if Lonzo gets hurt and we got to start him in the playoffs and he got to go against Drew Holiday in the playoffs first round?
Well, if he starts
destroyed, bro.
If he started in the playoffs, then that means he's outplayed Caruso. If he started in the playoffs, that means he's outplayed Caruso. Because Caruso would be your secondary starter, right? It's going to be Lonzo, then Caruso, right?
I don't even have a problem with him being better than Caruso or whoever.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, it means that he played good. If I feel that if he's starting over Caruso, it means that he played good. So then I can't really talk too much bad about the pick if he's outplaying Alex Caruso. Now,
that's true.
If we're talking about that he has to get significant minutes in the playoffs just because somebody got hurt, and he's not as good, then I agree he's gonna get eaten up. Like I tell you, I wanted the shooting, but I feel like they're probably like, man, you know what? We're about to give Zach $40 million. Why are we gonna put his replacement? Why are we drafting his replacement at 18th at a 6'5" shooting guard? I'm just saying, I'm wondering what their logic is. That's the only thing. I'm not saying that it's great. That's they're right. No, right. Because I think like you get shooters for today's NBA.
Go ahead, CJ. Speak on this, and we got some comments too. But CJ, go ahead and speak on this, man.
Man, my whole thing is this. Angel, I definitely like your points and what you were saying, bro. I'm gonna go off of your first point. And what you said as far as with the Bulls and the whole Lonzo thing. If you felt that you knew that Lonzo had issues with injuries before you signed him. If this is a replacement for Lonzo, why the fuck would you sign him for 4 years? Answer that for me. Why would you sign him for 4 years if you knew he had injuries when you signed him? You knew this.
You knew this.
So that's my first take. Now, first and second, I don't know if I see this kid playing point guard right now because how young he is, but I do see a glaring spot behind that small forward spot that's open. So, he may play some three and some two. He may simultaneously switch between all that. But the whole thing with the whole Lonzo thing, I hope that wasn't the case. Because you knew this kid had injuries when you signed him. You signed him for 4 years. Over $80 million. So you don't sign a guy for 4 years for $80 million. He gets his first big injury. Now all of a sudden, oh, I'm scared. I'm scared as fuck. Let's go draft another kid to replace him. Because it doesn't make, if that's the case, it doesn't make sense.
It smells that
way. And Mark Eversley, they put his ass on the hot seat yesterday. I don't know if y'all saw that. They put his ass on the hot seat yesterday. Huh?
What did it have to do?
No, they asked him about Lonzo. Is what they did, and he said, well, he's making progress, but that's all we pretty much know. Then they asked him about Zach LaVine, but they kind of got into him yesterday a little bit. But I hope that wasn't the case as far as them drafting him as being Lonzo's replacement. I just hope it's not, because if it is, that would piss me off.
We're gonna get back to this, man. But CJ, hit them. Let's get to the Cam. Let's get to the
let's go back. Yeah, Cam. Sorry, bro. We get to talking. We get to whatever. All right.
What do you guys think about Joseph Nurkic from Portland? He's a unrestricted free agent, 7'27". He'll take anything you give him. He averaged a double-double in 2021. Trade Vooch and White for him?
No.
No.
First of
all, Cam. Nurkic is not. He's more so of a guy who gets rebounds. He's more of a big body that you throw in there. He does get second chance points as far as offensive rebounds. He's pretty good at that. But you cannot run him with this Bulls offense. This Bull offense needs to get up tempo. They need to get up and down the floor. You can't really run him, with an offense like, with this Bulls team. It's going to cut. Vucevic slows it down already. Now you're going to bring in a much slower guy that's going to slow it down even more. I don't know about that.
Next comment.
Okay.
Frank.
Next comment is coming from Frank Marshall.
What's up, everyone? Rumors from what I've heard is this could be a pick to possibly use Patrick Williams at a traded chip for a big. Don't know if it's true, but it makes sense. He's a similar to PW other than strength.
No.
I don't know. Angel, what you think, Angel?
No, PW's already showed that he has a 3-point range shot. So this young guy that we just drafted is I think like 1 or 2 inches shorter than P. Will right now. Like I think 1 inch.
And he's about 15, 20 pounds smaller.
Yeah, and he's and plus we don't even see that he's a consistent 3-point shooter. So if we're gonna use P Dub for a trade for a big, I'm hoping it's a starting power forward. So then we're trying to like make what fits our team to win, not like, oh, we're just trading P Dub to trade P Dub. Like, why would we do that? We still have this year and next year under his rookie contract. Like, I don't see the reason for that. Kobe White, if we're going to trade him for a big, I can see that because he's a free agent after the end of this year. Right. But PW, no, like he's the 4th pick of a draft. Yeah, you guys may have not developed him properly enough yet, but that's for them to look in the mirror, not for PW. He's got to take control of what he can do, and what he can do is start playing a little bit more selfishly. If he does that, maybe we'll see more contest in the locker room, and probably that's an issue that they're having where they want to surround people with people who just, I'm okay with not shooting the ball and just passing it, and they got to get a little bit more people in there who are like, you know what, I got a shot if I drive this lane right here. And if they do that, I see P. Will can still do that. He's only been in the league 2 years. Like, I understand people wanting to trade him because they see 4th pick, he hasn't done crap. Okay, I understand that. But it wasn't his fault for being drafted for it.
With all-stars on his team. That's the thing.
The team drafted him.
Right.
He has the skill set. He has skill sets to make a 3, make challenge 2s. He has a skill set to play defense. He just looks at times that he looks a little bit lost on offense. And to me, that's a coaching thing. Maybe the coach needs to start taking more hands on and saying, "Pass the ball to that guy over there,"
Yeah,
and stop
start running.
letting people and stop people playing ISO and just sitting there, going like this.
What look at what No Man said down there, CJ.
Exactly.
What
Yeah,
did he say?
let's go down to more of the comments down here as far as regarding Patrick. They'll be nuts to trade Patrick. His upside is too high.
Yes, sir. You're right, no man. 100%
Exactly,
right.
man.
Right
Yeah,
now,
I mean, and I totally agree. Like it's too much. Right now, it's he does things effortlessly as a 20-year-old. Like that last game of the season, people could say what they wanted to say. It was against Minnesota's scrubs, but he played against their number one defender that game. He took over that game. Once they gave him the ball and said, "Give us something," Pat gave you 35 with a win. I just think he just needs the ball. And like one of the guys in my group said, it's clunky. Like the Bulls, the way we're set up is clunky. And that's the perfect word because you can't look at a guy that's coming here as a 4th overall pick and tell him to be better than Lonzo, be better than Zach, who's coming into his all-star, his prime, DeMar, who's a veteran that knows how to hoop. And where does he fit in at some level? And I have to agree with some people. You have to entertain trading him. And I'm a fan, but I don't want to see his career go down the drain because they drafted him and insulated him, one, which is a positive thing, but didn't give him the ball. So something's got to change next season as far as DeMar. Somebody got to go if they don't. He has to be traded, or somebody got to go, and that's on AK. That's on AK.
There is nobody on this team untradeable.
Well, God, let me say this, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate again.
Okay.
I don't think the Bulls thought that they were gonna get Vooch far as in that first trade when they first drafted Patrick, and when they had this team going into that season. When they got Vooch, that kind of switched it all around. Now all of a sudden, Vooch pretty much lured DeMar DeRozan to this Bulls team. Now, if LA wasn't so damn stupid by getting Russ for, instead of DeMar DeRozan, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So, to tell you the truth, it's kind of like the Bulls are kind of in this spot now to where now you have these guys that are already solidified in the league. You're bringing in this young talent. Is the young talent going to grow with these veterans? So that's gonna be the thing that we're gonna have to watch with AK and these guys, and even Billy Donovan moving forward. Can Patrick Williams grow under Zach LaVine, under DeMar DeRozan, under Vooch? Can that happen moving forward? We don't know yet. The only thing I can say as far as with Patrick, or the only thing I can say with even Billy Donovan, you got to start running more plays with Patrick Williams. But Patrick Williams has got to have the mental mindset to say, "Damn, I got this ball. No, Zach, you ain't getting the pass right now. No, DeMar, you got to go over here. I'm driving this to the basket." You got to have more of that selfish mentality. Now, maybe he's not that type of player. We don't know yet. We have to see what happens.
Yep, you're right. You 100% right, CJ.
All right, but we got another comment from No Man. He said he's maturing. Basketball year is right in front of us. He has the skill set. He definitely has it.
Yeah, I think he's only going to be 22.
And he played in 4 playoff games. He had 1 bad game. 1. As the 4th option, man. He had 4 decent games from a guy that was hurt all season, came in at the tail end of the season, and gave you everything he could under limited opportunities with the basketball, bro. That should let you know we have something special here that we have to cultivate, and we have to sacrifice something to make it all come together, because he might be the missing piece for them getting to that top echelon in the Eastern Conference. 6'8", 220-some pounds, that could pass the ball, that could shoot a 3, and could defend. They have to start looking at him, or to me, they're gonna have to trade him, because his career, what's the point of keeping him?
Right
it doesn't make sense.
Now speaking on that, Frank Marshall had a comment, and Angel and Guy, I want to get both of your opinions on his comment before we go to No Man's comment down here. But this is what Frank Marshall had to say about Patrick Williams.
Oh, P-Dub won't succeed here. We have too many ball-dominant players. We want him to succeed. DeRozan or LaVine need to leave. Exactly. He won't be aggressive with all these ball-dominant players. There it is, right there.
Well, he's got his first offseason training with a all-star type of player in DeRozan.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't Zach. He was here before with him. Didn't train with any of his young core prior to what's happening now. Vooch took Simonovic, and they're training overseas. DeMar took Pat, and they're training together. Those are your two leaders on this team. I don't care what anybody says.
Vooch and DeMar.
Vooch and DeMar, they're the ones that actually took young players and told them, come with me. So that's what I see. Now, I'm not saying that means that they're the best player on the team. Not all the time your best player, your leader is your best player. That's not always. So that's not what I'm saying.
That's true. That's a good point.
So right. I see people who are actually trying. So all this talk about like Vooch, trade Vooch this. You need to trade Vooch for a piece that's actually going to work on your team. You don't just trade Vooch. Oh, we need a center. Okay, but is the center that you're getting back actually better than Vooch and fits what this team is going to do?
Like Gobert, right? Let's keep going.
Hold on. Bobby said earlier, this is what Bobby's comment was earlier. I didn't pull it up, but I'm going to pull it up now. This is what Bobby said earlier about Jokic.
Does Nurkic shoot the three? No, hold on. Does he shoot the three? Does Nurkic shoot the three?
I haven't watched him in years. I don't know.
I know. Jusuf was an actual Chicago Bull at one point because they drafted him and then they traded him for Doug McDermott. So they traded him for Dougie McDermott. So
Dougie,
I understand about like how people want these fits and how we're gonna go right into Rudy Gobert. I'm okay as a fan if they want to trade for Rudy Gobert, but is BD ready for that? Because BD needs to change his offense if you're going to have Rudy Gobert as your starting center.
It keeps coming back to him. Go ahead.
You cannot have Rudy Gobert like one of our boys was saying like, oh well, what's the difference? Instead of he's just not going to pop. That's a big difference on offense. If you're the team that's playing defense on them, you know that center all he's going to do is drop to the rim. Well, then all I have to do is play.
That's all Rudy does.
That's all I have to do is on the switch. I have to play underneath. You go straight to the next guy. There's no wondering, oh, do I got to go for the pop? He might go for the up top for the three. I'm going to have to go there, which then leaves the lane for the drive. You don't have to do that then. You know this guy is not going. And if he does pop, let him shoot that. He ain't going to make it. He's shooting what, like 15%? I'm sorry, 115 from three. Like, let him shoot that. You're not gonna. What has Utah's offense done in the playoffs?
Nothing, bro.
I said before, and I say it again.
Like Michael Jordan, man.
I watched Vucevic in Orlando. The offense went completely through him. He's a pick and pop player with some post moves. He's not a great defender, okay, as far as a low post defender, but he does give your offense, a higher up because he does so many things offensively. Now, everybody was banking on them getting Gobert, which didn't make no damn sense because he was making.
We lit tonight, man.
We was making $43 million. It didn't make no damn sense to get Gobert. You're gonna pay Gobert $43 million. Then what you're gonna do? Pay Zach LaVine $40-something million? Now you got a guy that's over 30 getting 43. Who's just limited, who's limited offensively. Sorry to say that, but he is limited offensively because the only thing he does offensively is get tips in, and offensive rebounds. So it's like I don't get it.
The man took 5 shots in the playoff game?
Yeah.
I think it was their elimination game. He only took 5 shots.
Right.
And
I like what Nomad said right here too.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Vooch kills us in pick and roll defense because he's too slow. Someone like Turner in Indiana would be a good trade for Vooch. I totally agree. That's the perfect trade to get for somebody like Vooch. I agree with you, no man. Totally agree. And what Frank say?
Frank actually said, hold on, I'm gonna pull it up.
Let me ask you this again. I love him, but you won't have a higher trade value for DeRozan right now. Why weren't we at least listening to trade offers for an MVP caliber player? Could have used him for a trade chip, and P-Dub takes a huge step. I think DeMar has one more year. I think he's going to play out the contract. Let's remember that Patrick Williams is only 20 years old. He's only 20.
Zach LaVine won't resign here. You trade DeMar DeRozan. That's a fact.
There you have it.
That Zach LaVine would not resign. Zach LaVine would not resign here if you were to trade DeMar DeRozan. If you thought like, oh well, why don't we just trade him? This is the biggest.
I get that.
We haven't made the playoffs until
Right.
DeMar got here. Zach didn't make it. Do you think this man's going to choose to come back here and re-sign with the Bulls after they just traded his best player that was next to him?
Go ahead, CJ.
Now hold on. Before we continue, that was a good point, Angel, because no man said that he wouldn't be surprised if the Bulls signed and traded Zach LaVine for Damian Lillard. Now, would you guys agree if they did that?
I agree with this because who has the better handle? Who has better escapability as a guard? Who has the better escapability to get out of there as a guard?
Hey, guy.
Go ahead, Angel.
Guy, you remember you and me had this? No, you remember you and me had this combo earlier in the year about Dame.
I think that's so.
Remember Dame and Zach? How we were talking? No,
I think we agreed.
No, you actually said that Zach is the better player because you said that Zach is younger. So because Dame is older, so that was your our concept of this. But how we had like who's over who. I had Dame over Zach, and then you put Zach over Dame. So
because we got a core now, like you can switch out a guy and bring in a better guy.
I feel you. Is this when I see that this is a trade option? I'm like, man, I would love to have Damian Lillard on this team. like
now that we got a crew, we got two other guys. Like give me Dame. Give me Dame now.
I would love to see him do this to Giannis in the playoffs, or I would love to see him do that to somebody. Like I would love it. I love Dame Dollar, but is that something that Portland would do? I'm sure maybe, but they got to also think of, are they actually making a run for the playoffs or not? Like, what are they trying to do? Like, is he a better fit for them? Because I didn't see them getting a point guard or anything, did they? No.
Frank, let me answer your comment. When you talk about Steven Adams and Rudy Gobert, yes, they are the same player.
I didn't see his comment, CJ.
Well, actually, let me pull it back up, and I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna go ahead and repeat what I was saying. They're actually the same player. The problem is that when you looked at that OKC team, they didn't have a low post scorer that can give you high percentage shots. When you look at the Utah Jazz, when you talk about Donovan Mitchell, is 6'3", can score, can do all these things from the outside, but had a hard time getting to the basket because so many guys were clogging the lane because Rudy Gobert was in there. So it's like, you got to think about it. If you bring in Rudy Gobert to this team, it's going to be so many guys in the lane that DeMar DeRozan is not going to get a shot. He's not a 3-point shooter. Zach LaVine is not, is not going to be able to drive the basket and get to the basket because there's so many guys clogged in the paint. But let's keep going down to more of these comments.
Who is Tech Liz? Shout him out. You know who that is, Angel? That's you.
Yeah, I know who it is. I'm gonna get to him in a second. I'm just trying to get to these comments real quick. I'm trying to get through them real quick. And then this is
think that he's exercising other offers because he wasn't getting the ball from DeRozan. DeRozan took the ball out of LaVine's hand. You trade him for another big piece, not for a bum. LaVine wouldn't leave. I gotta say, man, DeMar is going to play out his contract. I don't think we're going to extend him. It's going to become the Patrick Williams and Zach LaVine show, man. And I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think he's going to get extended. Everybody's talking about DeMar getting traded. I think he's going to play out his extension or whatever. The contract he signed. He's going to be 36 or something like that. He's not getting signed again. Patrick Williams to be 22, 23. Let's just ride this thing out, and let's see if Patrick develops and gets better and start becoming more of a ISO selfish person, because that's really all we can do. We can't really do nothing about DeMar right now, man. But if there's one person I wouldn't mind seeing gone, it's definitely him. Just because we got the 4th overall pick, we just drafted a 6'7" point guard, and he's an ISO type of player. How these guys are going to develop with him going down the road? Like, you can't. It's not gonna work down the road. It's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
Okay, because no man said that Dame is actually a big game player. Zach ain't, pretty much.
Yeah, we've seen that. We've seen that. At least we've seen Dame lead his team to the playoffs. So talent levels between leading guys and driving the bus. Zach has never been that guy. Dame is. So put a feather in half a day.
Go ahead, Angel.
I didn't see Dame get locked down by Javon Carter.
I knew
he never gonna let that go. He's never gonna let that go.
I knew you gonna say that.
The guy's shorter than him and was locking him down, and the guy was their bench player. How many games did you see Javon Carter playing in that Boston 7-game series? How many minutes did you see him play? Barely any, right? But yet in that Bull series, he was every time Zach was on the floor, it was either Wes Matthews or Javon Carter. They made them guys look like they were lockdown defenders, all pros, all defensive first teams.
Zach better get that knee together this year. I don't want to hear that.
Matter of fact,
another side note, TJ Angel, Lonzo is working out right now. He said his knee feels good. He's been working out with his dad. Just to give y'all an update on that, he's feeling better.
Good.
And he's running around. So, so let's just hope he continues his rehab and he stays on the floor, man. So I just want to throw that little nugget out there. Yeah. We got about 20 more minutes, CJ. You think how long?
Probably about 20 more minutes. We're going to get through these comments real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and move it on. Checklit Bulls. What's up, man? What's going on? Hey, CJ Wild, bro. Hopefully everything is good with you. No man pretty much said Portland knows they need a star to keep fans in the seats while they rebuild. Yeah, that's that's absolutely correct. They're not going to let Dame. They're not going to let Dame go for nothing. That would be stupid.
Well, they just traded for Grant.
Right. So, yeah. And then yeah, but the thing is though, I don't know if Thibodeau, you gotta remember Thibodeau, isn't he like the GM over there too?
No, I think he's just a coach.
Oh, he's just the coach again?
I think they took that off from
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say I don't know if they're gonna just give up Robinson for Vooch. I mean, I said it again. It's all about how the offense.
No, he wants Robinson to play with Vooch. He wants
Vooch to play with Vooch.
Robinson at the 5. I'm not too on that like you are, CJ, because that was actually when they had Tristan Thompson and Vooch.
Well, that's Frank Marshall. Frank Marshall said that.
Yeah. No. You said right now. I thought.
No, that was
okay. So when Robinson and Vooch, I think can play against certain matchups, like on the floor together, like against Milwaukee. Our better lineup was when we actually had 2 bigs against them. I know people want to be like, "Oh, the bigs, though, you don't need bigs anymore." Like, I'm sorry, Boston won that series, and Boston was playing Al Horford and Williams and what's the big their center? What was it? 2? Isn't his last name Williams?
Yeah, it's 2 Williams. Yeah,
Grant Williams and
Grant. I think it's Greg and Grant.
Greg and Grant. Okay, so that guy was playing center. So when I see Tristan Thompson and Vooch play together against Milwaukee, our best game against them, not in the playoffs, but the best game in the season against them was when those 2 actually played the most minutes together on the floor.
I remember that.
When I watched this series, I know we all talk crap about Vooch's defense. Yes, he is not a defensive player. He never was. But when I seen him play defense against Giannis over everybody else that we had playing defense against Giannis, he said, "Giannis, you could shoot the 3. You ain't driving past me." And Giannis wasn't scoring against Vooch. That was just a fact. It happened. I know we want to act like, nobody did good in that series. No. We let that team, Milwaukee, not score their numbers. Giannis would have high games, but look at his field goal percentage. It was mostly when he was getting G'd against 6'4" Green. Like, why? Like, he would literally just go over him and dunk over it, just drive, go like this. Dunk. That's it.
Like a Fisher-Price rim.
Yes, exactly like a Fisher-Price rim. But when we had a bigger guy on him, he didn't do that. Look what happened with Boston. They had Al Horford on him. Those games, he didn't really do much. When they had Williams on him, Grant Williams, the 6'6" point power forward, he was scoring on him. He just made it difficult, but he was scoring on him and scoring at ease. Just a little bit more difficult. It was when they did the switch and the big went on him, like Horford or the center Williams. It was more difficult for him. So do I see Robinson playing with us? Yes. With Vooch? Yes. But can we get him?
That's the question. That's the thing. I don't think we're going to be able to get him because they're not gonna just give up Kobe White for Robinson. I know you guys want to trade Vooch, but again, some of you may want to trade Vooch, but again, I don't see it because really, the Knicks don't have another center right now.
And what Vooch provides, not a lot of centers are able to do. Despite Vooch not being the number one center in the NBA, he's at least top 3 or 5 or 10. He's up there. He's not a scrub. He's not a scrub, man. He's not a scrub.
Right. Yeah, I mean, as far as one-on-one against good talent, yeah, Vooch is going to struggle. He's not. Vooch is very heavy-footed, but at the same time, he's very strong in a way. So no, he's not. He's not a total defensive liability. It's just that when you're going up against guys that are very good on the perimeter that can take the ball from the three-point line to the basket, yeah, Vooch is going to have a hard time staying in front of him. But this is going to be the last comment. We're going to get into it. Then we're going to move on. Actually,
wrap this up, bro.
Last one down here.
That would have been a good trade. That probably would have been a
that probably would have been a good trade.
With Kobe. Look, with Kobe. With the side of Kobe White.
Yeah, with Kobe. Yeah, what?
It just sucks that you can't do it because you can't trade the rights to a person who's going to be a free agent.
True.
So that's the only problem. If they ended up actually doing what I would love would be the draft after free agency, or like in a certain time frame where it's together, you will see so much more blockbuster type of deals happening during draft day, because you would see like, the rights of a sign and trade is just happening right now. Mitchell Robinson being traded from the New York Knicks, and the Bulls are giving up, this pick for the rights to that signing. Stuff like that would be so much, but they couldn't do it. That's the only problem. Since even if he's restricted, you still can't do it. You can't do the trade because he's a free agent. There's no more guaranteed years on his contract.
Right. You're absolutely correct, Andrew.
All right.
But all right, I think that's gonna be pretty much all the Bulls talk. But no, what I want to say. Oh, go ahead.
No, who's gonna win? You're a guy.
Hold that thought. hold that thought, because yeah, we're gonna have to get.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get into it. No, this ain't gonna take long, y'all.
It ain't gonna take long, Mister. I want to talk shit all week. Mister, I want to talk shit all week. It ain't gonna take too long.
Anyway, man, I'm running out of jokes.
Yeah, all right. I got something for you, but no, we're gonna continue to talk as far as were the Bulls a super team or was there a dynasty? Because that's pretty much what it was.
Which years?
We're gonna it could be from 95, 96 to 97, 98.
91, all of them. What are you talking about?
All of them?
That's what I'm talking about.
We can do.
That's what I'm saying. Right there.
That's the issue. That's where the problem is. The first three-peat is dynasty. The second one, super team.
Hold on. Look, you weren't even supposed to just be sitting down there. This was between me and CJ.
Yeah.
So let me see hand this out and you be the moderator real quick.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, CJ.
First of all, I said it before and I say it again. How the fuck is anybody gonna say that team was a fucking super team? Now, hold up. Now, the reason why I say that, nobody wanted Dennis Rodman. How many times I gotta keep saying it? Dennis Rodman had a type of personality that didn't no coach want to touch. Didn't no coach want to even talk to him. So how can you even say him as a top 10 player? We're going off of top 10 players. The first super team was the Boston Celtics when KG, Ray Allen got traded to the Celtics. That was the first damn super team. That was the first super team. And my definition, again, is when you trade a top 10 player and another top 10 player to one team. It doesn't come from a team that draft players, because they're not guaranteed to be stars. If you draft the right players and you put them into a system and that system flourishes over the years, that is what? a dynasty?
Hell no. Hell no. First of all, a super team can be developed, bro. We've seen it. The Bulls, right? They win what? Their first three-peat was a super team, right? And the only reason why it's a super team, because you had the GOAT, right? You had the GOAT. And he went, not he, excuse me. The Bulls went on a three-peat. A three-peat. 91, 92, 93. Do you know how long that is in an NBA season or NBA careers or NBA? That's a lifetime, bro. That's dominance. That's dominance. That's a super team. You can't beat them.
That's the longer lifespan than an NFL running back.
So guys, let me ask you this question. So you're telling me in 1992 and 93, Scottie Pippen was a top 10 player. Is that
team?
No. Answer my question. Was Scottie Pippen a top 10 player during between 91 and between 93?
On that team,
when Jordan was there.
Scottie was top 10.
What other top 10? Besides Michael and Scottie, which again I say Michael Jordan was drafted by the Chicago Bulls, which was a dumb move by Portland because they got Sam Bowie.
But they was going by bigs back in the day. You know that, though.
Okay, I get that. Yeah. Again, Scottie Pippen was traded as a rookie to go to Chicago. Did nobody know that he was going to pan out? What I'm telling you is that we're talking about top 10 players being traded to one.
Just like top 10, just straight. Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Mike.
No.
I'm talking that list.
Go ahead, Angel.
Hold on. So, what makes them a super team and what makes them a dynasty? CJ, you have them as you have them as a dynasty because they drafted their key players, right? That's why you have them as okay.
Correct.
Guy, you're saying that they're a super team specifically why? Because you can't use drafting because that's not what super team is. That he's talking about, everybody coming together. So what made them a super team to you that doesn't deal with the drafted players?
That they didn't lose. They didn't lose for 3 years. That's a super team. Don't matter who's on the team. They had the greatest of all time. That's not a super team. You don't lose. If me and you on a 3-on-3 tournament and we win every year we win for 3 years straight.
Angel, hold on, Angel. Hold on, Angel. I got your ass. Let me ask you this question. What is a dynasty to you? Let me ask you that question.
A dynasty is winning in a certain amount of time consecutively in a certain amount of time. 6-0, right? The Spurs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm listening.
The New England Patriots, right? That's a dynasty. The Spurs won a dynasty. The Bulls won a dynasty. They were a dynasty. What are we saying?
Guy.
A super team and a dynasty.
Guy, you just answered your own damn question.
How?
You just pretty much answered your own damn question. Now, you just hold on. You just said a dynasty to you. You just said it. Correct me if I'm wrong. You said a dynasty to you was them winning in a certain amount of time, correct?
Consecutive.
Correct.
Or, yeah.
Now, hold on.
Of time.
Okay, now hold on. Now that's what you said, right? Yeah. So within that time, wouldn't a team have to grow together for them to do that? See, because when you talk about the Boston Celtics, hold on. When we talk about the Boston Celtics, though, you had KG, who was already a top 10 player on his team in Minnesota before he got there. Before they traded him. How was
they a super team when they only won one title, bro?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Just listen. You're not listening. You have Ray Allen, who was a top 10 player on the team when he was in Seattle. They were playoff teams that didn't win a title. Now, if they don't win a title and Paul Pierce didn't win a title and they said, oh man, we should put this team together three of us to come together, play on one team, and we can beat the other teams going into next year. Isn't that a fucking super team?
Hey, they won a title. They won one title, right? Super team. Super team. That's a super team.
It don't matter how many titles they won because didn't Miami win 2 titles before go ahead, Angel.
So is Miami a super team or a dynasty? The LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. Is that a dynasty or a super team to you guys?
That could be considered what a super team.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a team that built itself through like an off season and all of a sudden was there, correct? That's where we're going at, right?
Yeah, but what is going for CJ? CJ saying D Wade is an all-time player, but D Wade wasn't even the player he was when LeBron got there. He wasn't the same guy.
Okay. Now
that team, that Heat team was not like a team where except LeBron didn't win anything before. Dwayne Wade won one title. Hold on. Dwayne Wade won one title. Chris Bosh never won anything, and they got together, but they weren't necessarily like a super team. I get what CJ's saying, but that team, they weren't expected to necessarily win. That's why they lost the first title against Dallas.
Because the
That's
choke.
why they lost.
But
so hold on, Angel. Before you continue, so you're telling me that Dwayne Wade was not a top 10 player in the 2009-2010 season? Go look at his stats then. Go look at his stats.
He was a top player, bro. He was a guy that the Bulls wanted, that I wanted, that
exactly
everybody wanted.
During that free agency period. That 2010 free agency period.
He actually was in the Dallas Mavericks series in the finals. He was the best Miami Heat player on the floor. He outplayed LeBron James. Yes, he outplayed LeBron James.
Yep.
In that Dallas series in Miami, where LeBron was on his team, he outplayed LeBron James. Now,
let me turn this light. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Now, my whole issue that I'm having is that it's hard for you guys having this argument because I see how I'm trying not to be with my own input. My own input is the first three-peat is dynasty. The second three-peat is super team. So when I hear you guys talk about it, it's like that's why I try to make sure what guys' definition of a super team and dynasty is.
Right, that's what I asked him.
So if we're gonna look at the Bulls as just a totality, then you would have to say dynasty is what I feel and not a super team. They built a super team beginning with the dynasty.
Correct.
They wouldn't have that super team without that dynasty beginning. Now the reason why I say dynasty super team on the three-peats is because the first 3 championships were drafted players or players traded in the draft. Meaning they traded for Scottie Pippen on draft day for Detlef Schrempf. And I forgot who else was the other, or like another future pick or something like that.
Olden Polynice. Okay. So
wow.
So they drafted, if I'm not mistaken, Horace Grant. They picked up these other players. Their key acquisition as a free agent was Bill Cartwright. You don't consider that a super team build. You that's more of a dynasty. They built through that the 85 draft when they drafted Jordan, and they slowly built finding their pieces that they draft and they plug in and plug out to make that championship. When it comes to the next three-peat, that team was not drafted players. That team was players that they signed. I know you, CJ, said that. Well, who wanted Dennis Rodman? Dennis Rodman can play with chief players, meaning Michael Jordan was a chief. He would be in line when it came to people who he needs to be in line with. Dennis Rodman was averaging 20 rebounds a game. That's who you sign as a free agent. Do you know what Ron Harper, everybody likes to act like Ron Harper wasn't all that and a bag of chips. Do you know what Ron Harper averaged between 1986 to 1994, the year before he signed with the Chicago Bulls, what his average per game was?
Probably around 24.
No, just it was actually under that. 19.3 points per game.
Okay.
5 assists and 5 rebounds.
Okay.
You're talking about almost 20 points a game, 5 rebounds and 5 assists from a point guard that you're signing as a free agent. In that NBA time, not this NBA where you're getting people off the streets and they're just scoring.
Mm-hmm.
So that's building a super team. He came there. Why? Because Michael Jordan was coming over there. He came over there. Why? Because that's who you had. You signed a 3-point specialist. They didn't draft Kerr. They signed him as a free agent. They didn't draft Bill Wellington. They signed him as a free agent. The people that they did draft was Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, Tony Kukoc.
That's probably it. That's probably it.
You see what I'm saying? Like the rest of your roster is filled with free agents or undrafted free agents that you brought in that were specialists, Judd Bushlers, and stuff like that. That's who you brought in. But that first dynasty, the first three pure dynasty. So if you want to put it as in they wouldn't have had that super team without that, the drafting of all those players, those dynasties, then yes, you could say the full totality, I would say, is a dynasty.
Okay.
The full totality has to be because you built the dynasty. If you didn't draft Pippen and Jordan, you wouldn't have had them 6 titles.
Okay.
That these super teams, they don't have a lot of those people that they just draft, the multiple as them. Like Miami, they only drafted Wade, Bosh and LeBron, Ray Allen were signings. Boston, they only drafted Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, signings. What else?
Signing trades, yeah.
Yeah, sign and trade. But there were people that you signed. They came from another team. They weren't your homegrown talent.
Right.
You didn't build those guys up. They were already commodities, all-stars before you got them.
Yeah, they were solidified.
Dennis Rodman was going to the Hall of Fame before he got to the Chicago Bulls. Dennis Rodman was a Hall of Fame player.
Yeah.
But you know what, Angel, you made incredible points, and they all make 1,000% true. And selfishly, the Bulls were a super team and a dynasty, bro. You can't be a dynasty without being a super team, bro. At all. You can't be. It's impossible. You can't. It's like they're both. The Bulls were a super team, bro, and a dynasty. They might be what other franchise? Just to change it up. What other franchise was that in the NBA that's been a dynasty and maybe a super team that's at the same time? Give me a
Golden State Warriors. That's the only one.
All right. So
okay,
the winner
with KD and them winning 4 titles in 8 years.
With KD going there, they became a super team.
Yes.
With KD going there, they became a super team because Draymond was drafted by Golden State, Klay was drafted by Golden State, and Steph Curry was drafted by Golden State. So, but Angel, what was you gonna say?
No, I'm saying they would have won because they won without Kevin Durant. They were before and after, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though I feel like that one win before was because Kyrie and Kevin Love were hurt.
Yeah, a lot of the players were hurt in the playoffs. Even Kawhi Leonard was hurt.
Correct. So that first time, okay, but then they were able to win one without Kevin Durant. But it's like you said, the Golden State Warriors before Kevin Durant and after Kevin Durant, their playoff runs, I felt they were more beatable without Kevin Durant than they are with Kevin Durant, which is what makes that dynasty feel like the Bulls. After the first three-peat, people felt like they could get him. Man, we could get him. That other three-peat, man, people weren't. They were like they were coming up to lose. They weren't even getting game 7s. You know what I'm trying to say? Like these guys were the best team, 72 win. I just feel like these super teams and dynasties, I understand what you're saying, guys, that in order to have a dynasty, you have to have a team that is super. Like they're awesome. They're winners. They're all of that. I think it's just that you and CJ are just on a different of he feels that if you draft them, you are not considered a super team. You're considered a dynasty because most of the players you drafted. And you're just saying that if you become a dynasty, it's most likely because you had such great players in general as a whole, which makes you super, which makes you hard to beat.
Yeah, and I'll go back to your point real quick talking about the KD. KD made them unbeatable. Like if KD didn't get hurt when they played against Toronto, bro, they do not lose against the Raptors, dog. Like that's a super team. Like I get it because you damn near unbeatable. Even though the Bulls didn't, they had Michael and Scottie, but you had the greatest of all time, Michael. Like he was giving you 40 in an era where they were only scoring 84 points a game. He was giving you 39. So it's like you had that much of a talent level of a scorer and a two-way player. And you just need a little bit of help. A little bit of help. Hit a three here, and I'm going to give you 40, whatever Mike, as a comic book character, was doing back in them. Like, whatever he was doing, it was almost too much for that era to do. So, to bring it back to what I'm saying, it's like, yeah, they were a super team, bro. Like, you could not beat Michael once Michael got a squad together, man. Like, you wasn't going to win. You were not going to win. And they were a dynasty because everything that they were doing for a long period of time is crazy. I think if KD would have never left, dude, that's a super team, bro. Like I think what you're saying about free agencies. You put guys over here and you get LeBron, you get Dwayne Wade, and you put that team together, and the whole team Eastern Conference crashed. One thing I don't like about what LeBron did is that we didn't see a peak Eastern Conference necessarily with Wade on his own Heat team, Derrick Rose with his own Bulls team, and LeBron with his own Cavs team. You could, or Bosh with a Raptors team with the baby DeMar going. Like they collapsed the whole conference, bro. That's one thing I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all because we were robbed of probably another prime Eastern Conference. But I get what you're saying about the super team. But I think you can be a super team as a dynasty. Like absolutely, like you totally can for sure. But I get what you're saying, CJ. I get
And just the last thing I want to add to that. Again, Angel, very very good take on it, guy. Definitely understand what you're saying. My whole thing was with Jordan coming back. Coast. Yeah, with Jordan coming back, no one knew that if he was going to be a top 10 player coming back. So that was my argument on that. Scottie Pippen, during that time, they never really solidified him as a top 10 player, no matter what he did in the All-Star game, no matter what he did as far as that Bulls team in 93, 94, taking them to the playoffs. They never really solidified him as a top 10 scorer. So my whole argument was that when you talk about that second three-peat, is that you had three guys with question marks coming onto a team. With Michael Jordan, we know he was the greatest player before, but when you have tragedy going in your family, you never know what that can do to a man, trying to come back and trying to solidify himself as the best player, not just in the league, but of all time. So, I mean, you can take it, you can look at it as many different ways, many different ways and how you want to look at it, but definitely, we just some passionate ass Bulls fans.
Right.
At the end of the day, that's where we are, man. And this was one hell of a podcast.
Fire, bro.
So this was one hell of a podcast. We got all these comments, man. Angel, you did your thing, man. Salute to you, brother.
Out to Frank. Shout out to
Frank, everybody, and Bobby, CW with the love, Sappy by Tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, no man. Everybody came through in these comments, man. Everybody came through, had some pretty good damn questions, man. That's what we want.
Frank Marshall.
Everybody,
man.
Yeah, we appreciate the comments, man. C-Dub coming through. My mom leaving a comment. So everybody came through in the comments. I really appreciate y'all. I hope y'all did like this video, man, because we tried to make it as much as entertaining for y'all as much as possible. And my whole message is, but with this whole thing is, it's okay to disagree, but at the end of the day, man, me and this brother up here, we definitely trying to do our thing, and we definitely gonna have something special for y'all coming up this season. We can't wait, man.
Yeah, NFL season. Oh man,
Adrian right here. I say this guy does his gaming, but he is underrated when it comes to the sports. I told him that several times.
He is, man.
He is definitely underrated, man.
I appreciate you guys a lot, bro. Thank you so much.
We love having you on, dog. You
love having you on, man.
Family, bro. Whenever you, football season coming, so I'm always hit you up. You want to come on,
sir.
Talk you more than welcome, bro. This
I
is
appreciate
more than
that.
just a show. This is a brotherhood that we build in the community, man. So, I'm always hit you up and see if you want to come on, man. Because
Thank you,
we
guy.
got.
Thank you,
I
CJ.
want to let the cat out the bag about what we're gonna be doing in the season, but I can't do it right now, man.
Yeah, it's too
So
early.
many
Angel
people
smiling right now,
joining
but
us, man. It's gonna change.
He already fishing you guys to keep you on the reel.
So many
He got
It's-
me now. Like what?
it's gonna be something that no other podcast show is doing out there. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that.
Sunday is gonna be crazy. Make sure you got.
Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait to see you guys.
We're gonna announce it, and it's going down, bro.
It's definitely gonna be a party in this motherfucker. I can tell you that.
But tell the people what we got coming. One last thing, CJ, about the.
Oh yeah. This Wednesday, we got a special guest. So you guys got to make sure you go and follow the CNG Podcast Facebook page because this coming up week, Monday or Tuesday, I will be revealing who that special guest is. So this will be one of many special guests we got coming on to the podcast. Very excited to have this person come on. It's going to be a great show. This show is going to be featuring him, so it won't be no more of these long podcast shows. We're having special guests coming on and just going through 2 hours. No, this is going to be strictly a show for him, and I hope everybody who supports this brother will support this show coming up because it's going to be lit.
All right, good job.
Yeah.
Good.
And one last thing, shout out to the 4 people that's been in here the whole time for an hour and 47 minutes, 14 seconds. Hey, thank you for staying with us this whole time.
We appreciate you guys so much.
We did it for y'all, man. Hope y'all had a good time.
Yeah, man. And again, we appreciate you guys for coming through on this Friday evening, man. I didn't know if we was gonna come through this Friday evening, but we did it. And we're just gonna have more shows to come. It's gonna be a little dry spell. We're gonna try to keep the content going for you guys, especially with the special guests and little other things coming on. So we definitely will be having maybe 1 or 2 shows next week. So y'all just have to stay tuned for that. But y'all enjoy your weekend. Get those ice waters, get those ice packs, get whatever you need to get. Go get in the pool, go outside, go for a walk. Go enjoy outside when the heat is not so much there. I like to do little walks in the morning. So y'all go ahead and go and enjoy that weather while it's nice and cool.
Yes, sir.
And, just enjoy it, man.
Hey, Angel, tell the people where to find you and what you really do, bro. Tell them
what
you really do. Go ahead, promo. Go ahead.
I appreciate you guys, and CJ. All right, so my name is Dark Apollo. I am an Elite Gaming Mercs, head of CEO and everything. You can find me at Facebook Gaming, EliteGamingMercs.com. You could also follow me on Twitch, Elite Gaming Mercs, and you could also visit the website. Our website is www.elitegamingmercs.live.
And clip that, CJ. If we don't clip nothing else, clip my man promo on himself, and we can share that for him, bro.
I appreciate you guys so much.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And also, man, Angel, also, man, I pretty much after this is pretty much done, go ahead and click that up in the comment section if you can, and just let the people know we definitely going to start promoting people's shows and different businesses, whatever they got going on. We definitely want to start promoting that. So, we're gonna go ahead and clip that up in the comment. Oh, go ahead, guy.
Arkham Knights, I know you're getting it. It's a co-op. I'm gonna be.
Yes, sir.
I'm on there with you. I'm on there.
Yes, sir.
I'm waiting on that game, bro.
All right, I got you. We'll go ahead, Robin and Nightwing all day, baby.
Oh,
yes,
Red
sir.
Hood. Red Hood.
Right.
Oh, you going with Red Hood? Oh,
maybe,
man.
yeah.
I'm gonna go Nightwing, bro. I'm gonna
all right.
Nightwing.
There you go.
All right, but hey, we appreciate everybody for stopping by again. We appreciate you all showing us support on Facebook and on YouTube. We see a lot of Facebook and YouTube comments, so you guys supporting both of those platforms. We definitely appreciate y'all doing that. We'll catch you again here on Wednesday, but y'all better go and follow the Facebook page. You better go do it now because we're gonna be making an announcement about that special guest coming up. Y'all make sure y'all have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves. Be safe out there. For Elite Gaming Merch, for G Walker, for CJ. We'll catch you guys next time. Until then,